What's up, everyone? Trevito here. Just wanted to talk about some quick little spoilers that have approached us in the last 24 hours about the female Saiyans. Now, if you don't want to be spoiled about episode 92 at all, I suggest getting out of this video right now. But if not, from this second on, if you are staying, we're going to be talking about how Kale and Caulifla are going to become Super Saiyans in episode 92. So Cabba's going to end up teaching them how to become Super Saiyans, just like how we promised, which, enticed them to even go into the tournament in the first place. And I'm really curious about how the episode's going to go out as far as, their reactions, Cabba's reactions specifically, and also how their powers are going to be relevant, or how they're going to be competitive against, our fighters and other fighters in the future, and how they might power scale against them. So let's go on with how when the Saiyans first saw Cabba, and the Universe 6 Saiyans, who we've seen so far. We've seen Cabba, obviously. Now we've seen Renzo too, who was leader of the Sadalf, Planet Force, and he was Cabba's leader. And as Cabba's leader, I'm assuming he was one, more powerful. Number two, he was powerful enough to where Cabba even still thought that he'd be fit to fight, even with a broken leg. He still thought that he would be able to do some damage. And that's after seeing Universe 7. Cabba's seen our fighters before, and Cabba knows what we can do and what we're about. And he still thought that Renzo would be of some sort of importance or relevance and be able to knock some people out the ring, mainly because of his strategy, his overall wisdom with fighting, I guess you could say, and experience. But this guy's got to be pretty strong, and for this guy to say, "Oh, Caulifla is way stronger, or she has way more potential rather than I do," then I'm assuming that this girl is stronger than what Cabba ever was. And could she actually be stronger than what Cabba is right now as a Super Saiyan? We don't know. Is it unlikely? Yeah, but we don't know 100% confirmed. And when we go and we meet her for the first time, and he turns Super Saiyan in front of her and her henchmen, which is pretty interesting. We have this female character who is a Saiyan, and she's leader of a punk gang, basically. And the Saiyans, if a majority of Saiyans are like the majority of Saiyans who are in Universe 7 that we've known to admire, love, and we love their pride and everything. If the Saiyans in that universe are anything like Vegeta, who Vegeta is the 100%, we've known him the longest of all the Saiyans, so we're just going to base their whole race and stereotype him off of him for the most part, and what he said about his race. But if they're anything like him, then they do not, they're not like humans where we can fall for charisma, we can fall for, false propaganda easy. Saiyans, they're kind of don't talk about it, be about it. If you're about that action, then we'll support you, then we'll follow you. But that's the only way. Saiyans aren't really all about their talk. They're all about backing it up. So these guys have definitely seen Caulifla in action at some point. She's definitely knocked around some of these guys at some point. She's definitely powered up in front of them. And maybe they have the ability to sense ki and, read ki properly and scale their power properly. And they just know hands down, wow, this girl's a beast. We can't touch her, so we better obey her. She'll beat us all up. And, there's no other way. And she's kind of like a rude chick, too. It's not like she's really one of those that it seems like she really got to her little throne there in that ghetto little tough area where, she talked her way up. She definitely had to work her way up to establish her credibility as somebody being a leader, especially for Saiyans. So if she's really strong, and perfect examples of this too is Vegeta Vegeta won't bow down to anybody. Vegeta will scoff and like he just won't care or even give you any sort of credibility unless like you put fear into him, which who'd he obey? Who has he ever obeyed really in his life? Let's just give two big people. Frieza, because he's seen what Frieza has done. He saw growing up as a kid what Frieza was about, how strong Frieza was, okay? And then also Beerus, I mean, he shakes with Beerus because he saw how he, like, manhandled his father. He knew that even Frieza was afraid of Beerus. So that's a good example of how Vegeta and other Saiyans, you know, they need to see you actually, you know, do something with your talk as opposed to just talking your way up to get respect and authority, all right? And when he comes in, Cabba that is, back to when Cabba first introduces himself, well, introduces his Saiyan form anyways, the Super Saiyan form. You know, she wasn't really all that, oh my god, this is crazy, you're so freaking powerful. And neither was Kale either. Like, Caulifla and Kale, they were pretty calm. Even Renzo's reaction wasn't the most, you know, extraordinary and wasn't the most shocked either compared to how we've seen, you know, other characters like from Dragon Ball Z, how they've like, you know, kind of sat there and like kind of quivering in fear a little bit or just quivering out of like fearful respect for the power that Goku or Vegeta would be unleashing. But Renzo definitely was like, wow, like this is incredible. Renzo, that was kind of like a sign of, wow, you're like stronger than me. But Caulifla and Kale, they didn't really, I don't know, they just didn't really give off that vibe of, oh, like, Cabba, you're like a super serious threat to us if we ever got on your bad side. They liked it. They thought it was cool. They wanted some of that power. But it was almost as if, oh, man, especially Caulifla, she was like, hey, if I get this form, I'm going to be way stronger than this guy. So it's almost like written, like, in certainty that these two girls are stronger than Cabba. Now, I know that that may not be true too, but it's just speculation. And if they're stronger than Cabba, then how strong could they be? Could they be as strong as how the androids were, you know, back in the Cell days? Or could they be as strong as Trunks when he just came back? We don't know. And that's like the cool mystery about it. And I'm really curious to see if when they transform, how Cabba is going to react to their transformations. Now, we know that they don't have tails. We know that Caulifla has more latent potential than Renzo. And, you know, maybe the whole no tail thing, because the tail, even way back in Dragon Ball, like I'm talking about Dragon Ball, when Goku was a little boy, the tail was always a way to weaken the Saiyans. You know, the tail was a way that the Saiyans could be held back. And, you know, the half-human hybrids, they have more latent potential, it seems, and can tap into this power a little better. And I remember one time hearing a good theory about how the reason why is because humans are a little more emotional beings and more willing to be in touch with their emotions as opposed to Saiyans are, since Saiyans are, you know, a little more prideful and a little more, you know, they're a little more closed-minded, I guess you could say, for lack of better words right now. But, you know, with the ability to tap into more latent potential, who's to say that they can't have, like, bigger multipliers, per se? And especially with these girls being girls, all right? Like, this is something that I said in the first video that I ever made on this channel when, like, I thought that, and I just made a theory video about how I thought that the Saiyan King would come for this tournament and then, like, maybe another Saiyan. But if you know, these girls, and it's scientifically, I guess, proven, you could say, you know, the higher your estrogen is, the higher your estrogen gets, the more moody you're going to be, okay? These are girls, so assuming that, you know, their biology is the same and physiology and whatnot, they're going to have a lot of estrogen, more estrogen than the men. So with that extra estrogen and those extra emotions, and, like, all jokes aside, and I mean, I guess this would be kind of a joke, but hey, if girls are more emotional and girls can tap into their emotions better than guys can, then these female Saiyans should be able to tap into some emotions to get themselves into like some Super Saiyan like raging, okay? And these girls, who knows how strong their latent potential is. I want to see Cabba's reaction to see him, like, if he freaks out and says, holy cow, like, this girl is stronger than pretty much everybody I saw on Universe 7's team in the other tournament, minus Goku and Vegeta. Or what if he says a comment like, wow, they're just like slightly under the Super Saiyan Blue form? If he makes some crazy comments like that, then wow, we're in trouble. And I mean, maybe we won't necessarily be in trouble ourselves, but you know, everybody's in trouble. Everybody in that tournament's going to have to fear these female Saiyans, okay? And with the Saiyan girls coming in, I think it's going to be cool. You know, having female warriors is going to be really cool. It's different. You know, girl fighters, I mean, even in the real world, you know, I mean, they're getting built up way higher now, especially in the UFC if you follow that. But it's going to be really awesome. At the end of the day, they're Saiyan warriors. They're Saiyan females with pride. They're Saiyan females that because they're females, they could probably end up with way bigger power boosts than, you know, normal Saiyans. And I just can't wait to see what they do with these characters. I definitely think they're going to be a huge threat in the tournament. I think everybody's going to be shocked by them. And I hope Cabba's shocked and Cabba just doesn't give a whole, oh man, like perfect. I don't want it to be basic, you know. I don't think anybody else does either. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think, how strong they could possibly be. If their multipliers could potentially be increased more than what our Saiyans are, just because, I mean, one, because they're women, or two, because they're Universe 6 Saiyans and they don't have tails. Let me know if you liked the video. If you did like the video, please like. Please subscribe if you haven't. We love any support that you give the channel. But yeah, if you love Dragon Ball, this is the place to be. We're mainly a Dragon Ball channel right now. We're not going away anytime soon. Got a bunch more videos coming out. And thank you guys so much if you paid attention to this whole video. Thanks again, and can't wait till the next video to talk to y'all.